Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Present.
Trustee Rogers?
Present.
Trustee McCurdy?
Present.
Trustee Sweet?
Present.
Mayor Hughes?
Present. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Is there a motion to approve the minutes of March 28, 2018 Committee of the Whole meeting?
So moved.
Trustee Gray,
I'll second.
Trustee Sweet, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I'll abstain for this matter.
Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of March 28, 2018 Village Board meeting?
I so move.
Trustee Sweet,
Second.
second Trustee Rogers. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I'll abstain again.
Motion carries. We're going into a public hearing right now, so the regular meeting will be in recess for the purposes of conducting a public hearing. Is there a motion to open a public hearing on the Village of Homer Glen's fiscal year 2018-19 budget?
So move. I'll
Trustee
second.
Rogers, Frankie, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. The public hearing on the proposed fiscal year 2018-19 budget is open for comments. The public hearing is designed to allow the residents to state their opinions and/or their concerns. It is not a question and answer session, given that there is anyone that wishes to comment on the village's proposed budget. Does anyone have any questions or comments on the public hearing for the budget? Okay. Is there a motion to close the public hearing on the Village of Homer Glen's fiscal year 2018-19 budget?
So move.
Trustee Trachey? Trustee Gray? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. The meeting is called back into order. Go to reports and communications from the mayor and other officers. Start off, the Homer Glen Area Chamber of Commerce invites home area businesses and residents to attend the 2018 State of the Village address. The event will take place on Tuesday, April 17, 2018, at Denolfo's Banquets, located at 14447 West 159th Street in Homer Glen. For further information or to submit a registration form, contact the Homer Glen Area Chamber of Commerce at office@homerchamber.com. Second is Heritage Park update. Austin Tyler is continuing work on phase 1 of the Heritage Park project. Current work includes installing the underground conduit for the streetlights, aggregate base for the west parking lot, and putting in curbs in the west parking lot and sidewalks. The binder surface for Heritage Circle should go in late next week, along with the east entrance. Once the east entrance is open, the remainder of the west entrance will be removed so that portion of the project can begin. Access for the village hall will then come from the east side until the 1st of June. The project stands at 52% complete and should be substantially complete before June 30th, weather permitted. Go with the trustees, start down with Trustee Gray.
Mary Park, here.
Thank you, Trustee Gray.
I have nothing to report. I have nothing to report.
Okay. Thank you, Trustee Tracy. Trustee Rogers.
Public Safety took a tour of the new Will County Sheriff's Department facility last Wednesday, and it was very informative. It is, I think, very likely to know, and I think that people should be maybe more aware of the benefits that we get from this contract. Simple examples were, where's Jim? Jim, what's that room called? The CSI?
Yeah.
You have a whole CSI department that we have the ability to utilize. Social work department, the detectives department. So it's an amazing facility. It really is. It has all of the bells and whistles and everything you need. But I think it's just important for the public to, or the residents to know that, you know, our contract, yes, we have sheriffs and they're in their cars and they're in their vehicles and they're, you know, protecting our community, but it goes beyond that when we need it. So I just thought I'd share that.
Appreciate it very much. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody you went with, and thank you for your work.
Okay. Trustee Suisse.
Thank you, Mayor. Reporting for the Environment Committee. The Environment Committee would like to extend a big thank you to members of Cub Scout Pack 61 and Boy Scout Troop 63 for volunteering to assist with planting red oak seedlings in honor of Arbor Day. This will take place at Goodings Grove Park on Saturday, April 21 at 10 a.m., and that's weather permitting. We would also like to thank Living Lands Waters for providing the seedlings. The village should be able to get a few more of these seedlings in the near future, so check our Facebook page and the village website for details. It'll be possible one per resident until they run out. As mentioned at the last board meeting, the Environment Committee is looking for the biggest trees in the village. Applications for the biggest tree contest are available on the village website and village hall. Forms are also available here in the sign-in desk, and the deadline for the submission is May 31st. For more information, please call the village hall. International Dark Sky Week is April 15 through the 21st. What will you do to promote the natural night? And how will your class or organization spread the word about light pollution? View a free 6-minute film entitled Losing the Dark at www.darksky.org/resources/losingthedark. The Environment Committee will also be hosting the first stargazing event of 2018 on Friday, May 11th from 9 to 11 p.m. The event will be held at the Trentina Farm on 151st Street near Gower Road. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Suisse. We'll go to the village treasurer.
I have no report.
Thank you. Clerk.
No report.
Thank you. Village attorney. No report. Okay. Public safety officials. Quick one, Mayor.
Just wanted to explain to the public, you're going to see a bunch of coppers with beards, which normally is against our policy. I know the village put it on its website, but Sheriff Kelly authorized that we could grow beards in support of Special Olympics. So it's a fundraiser, where if we donate a certain amount, that we can grow the beard. So I think like 2/3 of our officers who never get to grow them donated so we can grow them. So if we're looking a little unkept, that's why. And then number 2, it's getting warm out, thank goodness. I didn't think the warmth would ever come. But with it comes car burglaries. Make sure your vehicles are locked. Don't leave key fobs in the vehicle, any valuables, anything that'll welcome a burglar. And then number 3, the warmth tends to increase our speeds in our vehicles. So especially to our neighborhoods, we just want to remind everybody to keep an eye on your speedometer and slow it down. And that's my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
Village manager.
No report.
Thank you. Going to public comment. Glen.
Hello, Lynn McGarry from the Homer Glen Area Chamber. And just repeating what you said, the State of the Village address will be Tuesday. And if anyone in the, I know all you are going to be there. So anybody in the audience wants to know about it, I have flyers with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Rachel Sweet.
Hi, everybody, good evening. So I'm coming just to give a brief update. I'm one of the residents who created the Homer Glen Cleanup Facebook page, if you've seen that out there, and also the Homer Glen Cleanup Day for April 22nd. There's 3 other working moms. We came together, we saw these horrible comments on the village page, etc., and just said, we're so tired of it, we're just going to do something about it. So we wanted to get the save the date out. We're still looking into what we can and cannot do. And our goal and what I wanted to do coming here was just to see how maybe we could work together to make this a great day. Maybe something that can be ongoing, where we continue to encourage the community to clean up, whether it's after the Homer Glen parade, where there tends to be a lot of trash, The group and I have reached out to New Way to see if they're willing to contribute, larger bins for the day of, to help with the day after the parade, to see if they'll give, rolling bins. We're going to encourage additional volunteers to help. But the actual day of the 22nd, our initial concern was obviously around the Home Depot, Meijer, behind the Dunkin' Donuts, the place where we all go every day and see how horrible it is. I understand that you've asked the owners of the land to do some cleanup, and I have seen some, but not a lot. So we want to move forward and continue to understand if we are able to access the land and assist on that day, or if we're not. And if we're not able to go to those areas, we're going to continue to encourage the public to get on our side streets, our parks, our walkways, our own yards, right? And get out there and pick up. So, we're reaching out to attorneys as well, but I don't know if we could use the town's attorney to get more feedback on that. But again, we'd love to work together, get your guidance, get your support, and see how we can make a great event that day, as well as moving forward. We're also asking local businesses to donate garbage bags and gloves. So we're going to have certain points where individuals will be throughout that day where people can come pick up free gloves and garbage bags. We'll also give directions on where they can bring the garbage. Some businesses have donated their large garbage bins as well as a place to actually dump what we pick up throughout the village. So I just wanted to give an update, see if you had any questions, and see if we could work together somehow.
Okay, a couple of things. It's April 22nd, so Sunday.
Thursday.
Birthday.
Oh, well, but it's still a Sunday. I'm just trying to figure so everyone knows what day this is going to fall on. Where they're going to meet.
So it depends on if we're able to actually access the Home Depot Meijer land, right? So if we're given permission to go on those spots, we'll have someone located right basically next to Home Depot. There'll be a table, there might even be a tent set up that someone's donating, and we'll have things to hand out. It looks like the spot between the Shell Circle K stations has been cleaned up, so that was going to be one of our spots, as well as the area behind Jewel, which was pretty disgusting. And that seemed to be cleaned up as well, although we might actually meet behind Goodings Grove School if they'll allow us, because that's pretty bad. So behind Goodings Grove, Home Depot, if there's a lot of interest, we'll find another spot, and if we can't access those areas, we'll just maybe ask Jewel if we could be in the parking lot, maybe at the edge of the parking lot where we could actually hand out the bags and the gloves for people who would like them.
Or are they good to meet you actually here? Too?
Oh, here. I forgot about here.
One other thing. Time-wise, what did you say?
Sure, so we put on there between 10 and 3, figuring that the public can just get out and do something between those hours with their kids, with their families, with their groups, before, after church, if you're a churchgoer, if not, whatever. Once we have the permission to either be on specific areas or not, we'll go ahead and send an update and say 11 o'clock Home Depot or 1 o'clock or whatever. So we'll give specific times where if you want to help in those larger areas, you can. Or it'll just be sort of a generic get out that day. The bins where you could leave the garbage will be available from this time to this time, and these will be the areas, some more general direction. So it kind of all depends on what we're given permission to do.
Okay.
I can, the property manager over at the Home Depot, I know her, that area, and I was in that business for so long. I have a feeling they're going to say no.
And I
And
understand.
only because they say, my son picked up a bottle and broke his hand, or, ripped his hand open. So because it's private, I think she's gonna have a hard time with that, because she couldn't even add you to the insurance for the day, which is what my initial thought was, because it's not like an LLC or anything like that. So I think initially, my initial thought is she'll probably say no, but I can reach out to her and ask her. But I love the idea, I love the concept, there's so many areas that are the right-of-ways that need cleaning and things like that. I like the idea of, meeting here. If the only thing I can think of is would be parking, but I'm sure we could overflow into the township if we needed to.
Well, we still have to drive over there, because I don't think anyone's going to want to walk a mile.
I like the idea, I really do. I don't see any reason why not to. Mokina, I live really close to Mokina's border, and they do this every year. And they actually have signage that they attach to, and it's always on Earth Day, and they attach it to the different areas in town, and you always see a ton of people out there.
Even though even if we can't go to the Home Depot area and clean up. We're encouraging them to donate items to help with the community cleanup. I don't know if we got confirmation to use their trash bins or not. But then I encourage the community members to file reports where they can to encourage the village and the owners to actually get there and clean it up themselves if we're not able to. So.
From a legal standpoint, for the Fest Committee, the volunteers, if they have to sign a waiver, is that something that we could do for that, so that would avoid any?
Well, I think the waiver for Home Depot is going to depend on what they would want.
Yeah, and the thing is, over there, the Home Depot owns their outlot, the Myers owns their outlot, and the Ring Road is the common area, so you're talking about a couple different owners over there. You know, the Chaz's lot is its own owner, so
So
that.
is it possible as maybe a backup, we could offer Heroes Trail? Because Heroes Trail is village property, we could have the waivers that clerk has mentioned, and you could designate points on Heroes Trail if people took like a block-long stretch of it, you could, you know. I'm just, I don't want to, I don't think anybody's trying to throw cold water on your idea. We really thank you for bringing it up and making it happen. But it's, you know, really short time right now, and you're trying to get a lot of pieces in place, and if that doesn't happen, it would be, you know, terrible to see you lose that momentum. So maybe if we had some village property where we could go to and do this as well, you know, keep that going until you can kind of solidify it a little bit more. So.
I think if you did it more in the village rather than the business, I think the business would be embarrassed. Maybe that's what they need to be. Probably should have
I
said
did
that.
talk to
But-
the Home Depot manager, and they told me that they're a mail lease. And they also told me that they've been cleaning out the dumpster area, not the dumpster, but the donation box area on their own dime. Whoever put the donation boxes there did not get their permission.
I know, I ran into that too many a times, and it's so hard to get
Yeah.
those things picked up.
Yeah.
The highway department's got big trucks.
I have seen the highway departments out there doing the right of way since the weather's turning not so much snow, but I've seen them out there doing their trash and using it.
But the one thing with trust, agree with what you just said, which I think is a good idea. If the residents see us doing it on property that, you know, we don't know, the business doesn't know it, a lot of times they'll jump in and, because it's their neighborhood too. So, yeah, I agree with what Trustee Gray said. What
So,
you're doing is wonderful.
Mike, who should her point person be so we can kind of all be on the same page with this to kind of help with this?
So two things. One, Joe and his department have been talking to the different business owners to get things cleaned up. And that's why we mentioned a couple we did. Not to say that there's not debris still on some of the sites. Janie's a good contact. My only issue is Janie's got a state of the village to finalize in the next number of days, but maybe early next week, she might be able to get you in contact with a few people, or at least get you some names of certain business owners that you can reach out to, and at least give you the right person to talk to.
And I can help, and I'll be there.
Okay.
Does the Fest Committee have any of those like garbage picker upper thingies?
No, the highway department does, but that's the issue.
I don't mean teenagers, I mean
You
like.
could all check it.
They don't actually touch the garbage.
They don't, but I know the highway department does.
I mean, maybe they
do
can
my
ask to
thing.
borrow those
Yeah.
for the day.
I was thinking the same thing when I saw them in that truck.
All right.
So if I can say just one last thing.
Sure.
So we understand this was sort of started last minute, and I do like planning parties and stuff, so I know it takes a long time to make a big event. But we thought at least if we get the word out, even if people just get out that day to pick up garbage, at least we've started something. And then if we can just continue the conversation and have something during the Homer Parade and have something in the fall, I mean, all different times throughout the year, we can just continue the conversation. So even if it isn't anything big, I mean, we have grand ideas for next year. We want to get local businesses to have discounts for those that actually participate, have wristbands for those that participate, and even activities for kids that talk about, you know, the environment and what litter does. And so we have grand ideas for the future, but we realize we can start really small this year. So just thank you for your time and your
Thank
support.
you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Next, we go to legislation and action items. Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 18-014, an ordinance granting a special use permit for minor changes to a plan unit development, 220-903C1, compliance and amendments of Chapter 220 zoning of the Code of the Village of Homer Glen for the Parkview Christian Church, former Eagle Rock Community Church, plan unit development located at 14367 West 159th Street in Homer Glen, Illinois. Parkview Christian Church, case number HG1812-S. I need a motion.
So moved.
Trustee Gray,
I'll second.
Trustee Sweet. Discussion?
Are the petitioners here? Maybe they just want to explain
Yeah.
to everyone, maybe they just want to explain to everyone what the few changes or what the changes are for the residents.
Yes, we're on. I'm Patrick McCarty. I'm the architect for Parkview Christian Church. Mark Mashuter is also here representing the church as well. So if we have questions that I can't answer, he'll be here as well. I was one of the original presenters for the original PUD change when Parkview took over from Eagle Rock. So we prepared those plans at that particular time. And when we prepared them, we had not fully vetted all of the items that came to play with regard to how they were actually operating. And some things in the last year have changed just for security of their primarily youth ministry. So what we did is instead of, there's kind of a U-shaped building, we had a courtyard in the middle of it. All we did is we slid that and eliminated the courtyard so that they could have their youth ministry combined as one section of the building as opposed to separated. And that gave them better circulation and clearances and security within the facility itself. So that's really the only change. And by doing that, we're about 250 feet or so less than what we had originally proposed. So it's really same function, same thing. We just kind of slid one of the components of that together or closer to the existing structure that was there.
So it is sharing a wall with your church, with the back of the church?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's better for security because it's not a disconnected building.
Well, it wasn't completely disconnected. There was a corridor connecting them, but the distance between them, because both of those wings were going to be youth ministry, and then separating them by a corridor just did not function as well. So pushing them together made it function much better because now it's a continuous pattern and they can lock it down for security and keep that area secure.
Any questions?
And then I noticed, and thank you, you're using on the geopath, you're using the radius model, which meets our 3,000 Kelvin.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yes, you're welcome.
Any other questions? Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Mary Patricky?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Is there a motion to direct the to issue a temporary use permit for construction sites, construction staging, material processing, excavation, and stockpiling operation for the IDOT 159th Street project for a 6-month term beginning on June 24, 2018 and ending on December 24, 2018. Potentially considered proposed
trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, lower our heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products, and the trees in our village with the trees in our village that increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Therefore, the Mayor, George Yukich, does hereby proclaim April 27, 2018 as Arbor Day in the Village of Homer Glen, and hereby urges all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and to plant and promote in future generations.
Agreement with Peterson Properties for 15757 Anvil Drive, Unit Number 3, Homer Glen, Illinois. It is understood the village will pay $2,320 per month from June 1st, 2018 to May 31st, 2019.
I so move.
Trustees, please.
Okay.
Trustee Rogers, discussion? Correct. Yes, very slight. Any other questions on that? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Nancy.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Rogers.
Aye.
Trustee Gren.
Motion carries. Aye. Opposed? Sucks to know. Any, all right. Is there a motion to direct the village's finance director to initiate one general fund transfer equal to the lesser of the general fund surplus for fiscal year 2018 or $600,000 on April 30th, 2018, according to standard operating procedure number 2?
So moved.
Discussion. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gray.
Aye.
Trustee Rogers.
Aye.
Trustee Nancy.
Aye.
Aye.
Number 6 is a motion to approve ordinance number 18-015, an ordinance amending 83-68 of the code increasing the number of Class A liquor licenses by one. The original, this is the Glen Park, DBA, the original City, 123, 20, West 143rd Street, Homer Glen, Illinois. Ready? Discussion?
So, the justice of this, all of us are here.
Let's go for everyone, let's go with the guy. Since there's more than what the rest of this on, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gray.
Aye.
Trustee Rogers.
Aye.
Trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Nancy.
Aye.
Motion carries. 6B, is there a motion to approve ordinance number 18-016, ordinance amending 8368 of the Code of the Village of Homer Glen, increasing the number of Class F licenses issued within the Village of Homer Glen. It is understood that the number of Class F liquor licenses during the line of retail area will increase by one.
I so move.
Trustee Nancy.
Aye.
Trustee Steve. Aye. Trustee Rogers.
Aye.
Trustee Gren.
Aye.
Last one. Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 18-017, an ordinance assigning an available Class F liquor license during the line of retail sale to the Richmond Mr. B. from Glen Park, Inc., owner of Bottom Lake, DBA, the original Mr. B, located 12320 West 143rd Street, Homer
Aye.
Motion carries. We're going on the workshop items. Number one, proposed zoning code text amendments. That would be me.
So, in front of you, you have a package here with the use table, and we go through that shortly, but I want to explain the purpose, and then we go through the actual table. So the main purpose of this amendment is to group all the uses in the table, or it's actually table 2A for use and block tables for non-residential districts. We do different, try to group them into categories rather than listing them alphabetic. Kind of helps to process our zoning cases, and also it would be helpful for applicants to go through all the uses together. Just as an example, last year we had supposed to come back for the second round for asking for a liquor, special use permit for liquor, but the uses were scattered all over the table and they weren't aware that they needed special use for the purpose. So it kind of helps the applicants to get all the special use permits together at one time rather than mixing and coming back for the second time. And the second goal is to try to make the I-1 district more inclusive with commercial uses. So we can come back and request the board to rezone the entire non-prohibited part of the I-1 district. So going beyond that, you'll notice there are quite a few uses added to the table. And even though some of the districts have very few parcels, like C6, that has very few parcels. And the intent here is, as part of the strategic planning process, we're going to take a look at the land use map. And some of these uses could expand. So that's keeping that in mind. We try to be more comprehensive on the listing rather than randomly specific. One of the uses that was added on was off-track bedding. That was requested by the Community and Economic Development, and so and there were quite a few others to go through as well. I just want to point out there were no changes to Table 1 for residential districts. So all these changes they pertain to non-residential districts only. So if you look at the last page of the handout of the table, there's some new definitions added. So I just want to clarify those for clarity. And this is a request from Trustee Glen to clarify the definitions so that we take to the liquor code. So we looked at the definitions for brewery, which is the liquor code outline, so we did not change that. We added a definition for container storage, and that the nightclub is defined in the liquor code, so we did not change that. We defined the pawn shop, we wish to put that in C3 as a special use permit. And then of course we added the definition for off-track betting, which is unstandard. And so with that, I know Trustee Street would like to go through the uses that are highlighted as they relate to the C1 district. The two intents for the C1 district, and in some cases, could they be included in any other